Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Rasconj. I hope you're all having a great day today, and thank you again for tuning into this video. In today's video, I'll be looking at the best attackers in Rainbow Six Siege, and there's no better way of figuring out the best attackers by doing a good old tier list. So let's get right into it. You have to ignore the defender icons down below. I'm only doing attackers for this one. I'll do another video about defenders because I want to give attackers enough time. I don't want to make this video a 25-minute long video. I'm going to go start with each operator and break down why I think they go in each tier. So starting off with Mav. He's got to be S tier. I don't understand how Mav could not be S tier. I think Mav is probably the best attacker in Rainbow Six Siege right now, in terms of there is no character that can counter him. If it's electrocuted, he can repel upside down, open the wall. There's actually literally no counter to Maverick that I know of. He's also got 2 nades. Any character with nades is automatically stronger because of nades. He's got an amazing gun that you can put a few scopes on that are fantastic. He's got a great pistol in his pocket as well. It's an absolutely all-round operator that you want to learn and play and buy if you've not already bought him. Then moving on to our other hard-breaching friend called Ace. I think I'm going to put Ace in A tier just because I think Ace can be stopped, but he's in a fantastic character. He'd be one of the closest people I have to put into S tier. He's got the AK-12, one of the guns that does most damage in the game. However, after Ace's nerf, where the gadget doesn't go down one more floor, I do think that has impacted him a little bit more. I'd love to know your guys' opinion about this character. I'm really not sure if I should put him in S or A, but I'm going to let you guys tell me what you think in the comments down below, if Ace should be in S or if A suits him perfectly. I'm going to move on to my little friend Amaru. If you guys don't already know, I'm top 5 Amaru. I love Amaru. Amaru has a special place in my heart. I'm actually going to surprise you guys with this. I'm actually going to put Amaru into C. I think Amaru is actually a great operator if you play it correctly. A lot of the time, like myself, we just go into a window, rush in and do something silly. But if you actually play Amaru properly, like she's designed, she's not designed to rush in straight away. I mean, she is in a way, but if you want to play her properly, you guys want to do executes with her. So come from a hatch down below. You want your team to push in one way and then come from a hatch behind, how no one could have expected you by all the sound being muffled by other noises going on. Maybe a line scan, a bit of distractions. She also has the G8 and some flashbangs. So she has the gun and the utility to bring alongside if her gadget can't be used properly. So I would argue that she could easily be in D, but I would not put her in E. But I'm going to fight for her in C because she's my girl. Moving on to Ash. What do I do with Ash? I am going to have to put Ash in A, maybe B. So I've put Ash in A, and I'm not sure what to do with Ash. I think I might have to come back to Ash after this video. I think you guys need to stick all the way through this one to see what happens and where I put Ash. I feel like Ash, the R4C is quite good. The G36C is very fun. She only has 2, which makes me think that Sledge is better than her, and I'm going to put Sledge probably in A. So let me go find Sledge. I'm going to probably put Sledge in front of Ash. I think that has to be the fact. Sledge has the 1.5, has the L8, has 2 nades. He lost his SMG11, which if he had his SMG11, he'd be an S tier for me personally. It's not a massive, but it does impact the character a little bit. So Ash, oh, this is another one. I might pull Ash down in B, but I'm going to keep her in A for just now. Alright, we've got Blackbeard. I'm going to put him in E because I just don't like him. I don't like playing him. I don't like facing him, but he's been nerfed to the ground where it only takes really 1 bullet, and I just don't really see the point of running a Blackbeard when you can run much better operators than Blackbeard. So Blackbeard is going straight into E for me. If you guys disagree with me, leave it in the comments and I'll argue in the comments. Fight me in the comments, boys. Come on, I dare you. We've got Blitz. Oh, see, the thing is, I'm going to put Blitz. I do kind of want to put him in D, but I'm going to put him in E for now because Blitz does serve a purpose and does have like moments where he's useful, but I just feel like if you play against him correctly, he will only kind of get you 1 kill, and I don't think that's great for an operator. A lot of these operators that are high up the list have potential to get more than 1 kill from their guns and utility, while Blitz is kind of just, you know, his feet are exposed, he's running, he's very loud, his flash radius is very close. Now we've got loads more trap operators like Capcan being buffed and Legion being buffed. It's so much harder for Blitz to actually get close to the defenders now unless they're roaming. He's good for roam clear, that's about it. So with Buck, I'm going to have to put him just below Sledge, which makes me want to move Ash to B for now, because I feel like if I've got Sledge and Buck in A, there's no way Ash can go in A. I think Buck is quite good at the moment. I do really believe Buck should get nades back. Let me know if you guys agree. I feel like Buck's got a great gun, fantastic gun. He's also got the skeleton key, which is fantastic to use as a shotgun close range if you know they're there, and also just to open lots of soft wall. With his skeleton key, you can basically do what Sledge does in a certain way and avoid getting C4'd by standing back a little bit more and doing your own thing. But Sledge has nades, and the guns are basically even in my head, so I am going to have to put Sledge above Buck, but Buck's better than Ash. That's my thinking. Let me know if you guys agree. Capitao, I swear he's used absolutely everywhere in Pro League. I'm not the most avid Pro League watcher, but I do see a lot of Pro League. I think Capitao gets used loads in Pro League, and I think his gadget is fantastic. 2 smokes and 2 fire can be used very nicely. He's got a great gun. I feel like Capital is one of those characters that people just forget about, and I'm not quite sure where to put him in this list right now. I've actually never really thought about Capital. I kind of want to stick Capital in A because of his utility. I think I'm going to go with A. I think he's an A tier operator. Capital is one of those characters that I'll come back to when I've got my full list, because I feel like he could sneak his way to S. The more I think about it, the more I think what a character he is, and he doesn't get utilised enough. But I'm going to stick him in A for right now. I'm personally put Dokubi in D because I can't put her in E because she does have some utility, which is the ring in the phone. The phone ringing can help with clearing roamers, and roam clearing is very important in Rainbow Six Siege, so I can't put her in E. I don't play her myself. I don't really like her. I don't think many people really like the character. I feel like her gun set and her utility is not strong enough. But I feel like if she got some nades or maybe an extra phone call, she could definitely move her way up. I feel like a lot of people could argue that Amaru and Dokubi could be in the same tier, but I'm going to fight for my Amaru. Now we move on to Finka. Finka is absolutely, apart from Maverick, the best character in the game right now. Finka has everything you need. Gets rid of the recall boost when she buffs. She stims teammates, she can rest teammates, she has a Con 6, she has nade, she has an LMG with an insane amount of bullets. And if you're like, oh no, I need to reload, you can even just Finka boost for the sake of reloading. This character has it all right now. If you're not using Finka and you haven't tried her out, go try her out right now. Finka is an S tier character. I don't care what you guys say. I know that a lot of you are gamers, so I think you guys are going to agree with me. Finka's had an amazing buff. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets nerfed soon. Well, let's hope not for you guys that are Finka mains out there. Moving over to Flores, that's a character that I hardly ever use, but I know what he does, and I know he's great. So Flores has AR-33 with a 1.5, which is fantastic. Has I'm actually not sure how many drones he has, but or blow up RCs. I think it's 3 or 4. It's great for exploding bandits and other mute devices if you can get around it. I think I'm going to stick him in B. I know he's used a lot in Pro League or higher levels. I think he's going to be in B for me. Rhyming accidentally. Oh god, golly. Okay, I'll stop now. That was embarrassingly cringe, I'm sorry. So I'm going to stick him in B. I think he's going to go with Ash. I think he has a great purpose. I don't think he's anywhere below C, in my opinion. But I don't think he goes into A's. The Pro League players might argue that he's an A or an S. That's fine with me. For me, he's going to go in B. We've got Fuse. Fuse, after he's getting a buff, he's actually going to go into B now. He's definitely going to go below Ash. Fuse now going to put his gadget through reinforcement. A hard reinforcement, which allows him to clear some areas out and also destroy a lot of utility. Obviously, they can be shot out by defenders. Just him being able to clear lots of rooms and now not just be limited to soft walls is a mega buff. And also he has the AK-12, one of the best guns in the game. So I'm going to have to argue that he goes into B. Moving over to Glass. Oh, I hate to do this because I actually really enjoy playing Glass, but I am going to have to put him into E. His gun is fun as hell, but his gadget and his ability just is year one C, just doesn't exist anymore. With all the ADSs, 1-eyes, Jaegers, etc. There just is no time for smokes and standing still anymore. You've got all these goo mines and all these castle barricades, ella mines, frost mats. I can list it all for you guys, as we all know. He just doesn't have the time and space unless you sit and spawn, but you could do that with a Cali. I think a Cali's arguably a much better character. I feel like a mega glass buff would be welcome. He obviously has nades, but he just needs a mega buff. I'm all for it. I hope you guys are all for it. I'm hoping this year he gets one. Gridlock, I feel like Gridlock's actually going to be a C tier. I would put in D and E. I know a lot of people don't use it. The gadget just needs a buff. I feel like it's a good gadget in the current state of Siege, but it just needs a buff in either deployment speed, more tracks, or a little poison. Maybe when you walk through them, you get a little bit afterticks or something that makes them more of a threat, because you can even run through them and not take that much damage. Please let me know if anyone's ever died to Gridlock tracks. I don't think I've ever seen anyone die to Gridlock tracks, maybe once in my lifetime, and that might have been a deliberate one. So let me know. That's probably the problem with her. So yeah, I think C's fair. Decent gun, okay ability, same as Amaru for me. Not quite D tier, could probably go in D actually, but I'm just going to fight for it in C because why not? My slime grid. So moving on to Hibana. Hibana for me is an A tier. I think same as Ace, to be honest. Does the same thing, but different. Can open hatches, so can Ace, but obviously takes one more. But now with the change of Hibana where you can choose how many pellets, obviously it makes her last a lot longer. But I just can't justify S tier. My S tiers are very strict to certain characters, as you guys will see. I think she's a very strong operator, fantastic guns, has flashes, has it all, just doesn't have quite enough flexibility with her character. Again, like a Kaid will just stop her, mute jammer. There are a few counters to it, which I believe every character should have a counter, which is why I think Maverick's so strong, and Finka, for example. That's why Hibana and Ace, for me, are in the perfect position. I feel like being an A is actually the best thing to be as a character for Siege. The S tier characters, in my opinion, should get a little bit nerfed, but just letting you guys know my thought process. Moving on to Thickums, aka Yana. For me, is an S tier. Not only does she have the kill potential from her gun, and nades. She also has gone 6, so that's utility clearing and with the nades as well, and then her own gadget slash ability which allows you to roam. So it's literally everything you want as an attacker. I can't argue for anything else but an S tier. If you guys don't agree with me, I'd love to know why in the comments. Moving on to IQ. IQ is such an interesting one because I feel like IQ's got to go in B for me because she does have some relevance for Valkyries until Valkyries go outside. She's always going to be kind of used. Also from getting Kaids that are in interesting spots, etc. If you know they're going to play a Valkyrie round, you do bring in IQ. But in my opinion, IQ needs a buff. I'm saying these two, that's why I put them below each other almost without thinking. They both need nades. If they both have nades, maybe Buck not as much as IQ, but if IQ had nades, she'd be a A tier. She has all the guns you'd ever want. Her gadget's cool, but it's not quite useful at the moment. But nades would just bring her up from there to there. So I highly recommend nades for IQ devs if you're listening. But otherwise, she goes straight into B for me. So now moving on to Jackal. I think Jackal in a lot of people's tier list goes into A, but I'm going to have to stick Jackal right in S. Still don't understand why people don't put Jackal in S. Let me run you through my thinking. Jackal, you don't have to use his scanning ability. You can sometimes just look at the floor to figure out where someone is, and sometimes scanning gives their position away. But let's say you're not doing that, or you follow their footsteps and kill them, or you don't, and you look at the footsteps color, you can tell how long ago they were in that room, roughly. You can then, if someone's being chased or you don't know where this roamer is, you can scan it and it'll tell you exactly where they were. Got 2 amazing guns. He has a shotgun. I genuinely think this character is undervalued in what he brings to an attack. He's incredibly annoying to all defenders. He stops roamers. He's the best roam clearer. I just don't understand why he's not in S tier for a lot of you guys. I'd love to know why. I don't really get the logic because I genuinely think Jackal, in my opinion, could do with a slight nerf because I just think he's so strong. There isn't really a counter Jackal apart from Cav. Cav's not really used that often, so you know what I mean, and a mute jammer, those are the kind of things. That's not really that much of a counter to Jackal. So Cali, for me, will actually go into C. I know you might be wondering, why is she going into C? I think her gadget is quite useful, actually, and I do think she has times where she's useful, but I just don't think snipers in Siege, which is an LMG heavy gun meta where one bullet is a headshot and it'll kill you with all full auto guns. I don't really see the place for with a character with a single fire gun to go anywhere above C ever just because of their gun. The gadget's really good, unless her gadget was absolutely busted, which it isn't, because you've got things like Jaegers and other gadgets which will destroy her shot. She only has 3 of them, I think. Yeah, I think she's another character that could do with a buff, a slight, not rework, but you know what I mean. I know she got given the SMG to help her in battles, so you can use her from range and use the SMG, but that SMG's not even that good. I feel like if she got an SMG 11, let me know what you think about that. I've thought about this a while ago. Her with an SMG 11 might actually be quite good. Moving on to Lion. Lion for me is actually just a better Dokubi. Lion could actually go in C/D. I'm actually going to put him in D because I feel like D row is going to be quite lonely. His gun's great because he's got 50 bullets, so I'll give him that. His gadget's really cool, but I don't really know if it brings enough value. Like if I was picking 5 characters, unless I'm getting a Fink and a Jackal, then I'd bring a Lion. He's just like basically a buddy to bring along, a bit like Dokubi. Like he's a good add-on, but you wouldn't pick him as first pick. So I definitely think you guys could definitely fight me for him to move up to C. He definitely isn't an E, so I'm just going to put him in D because I feel like him and Dokubi are kind of the same thing. And then we move over to Monty. Monty for me is a C tier operator. I was saying, why is Blitz in E and Monty in C? Monty, basically, you can actually use Monty properly. You have a really good Monty player, can be incredibly annoying to play against. Obviously, he has this ability to not be killed if you place a shield in the right direction, which allowed him for basically be a walking human drone, and also with the potential to kill, so it's quite good. However, with Monty, it's the slow deploying of a shield / hipfire combination, which again isn't really that great in Siege, where it's a lot of traps and a lot of slow you down with a loud shield noise. It just isn't fantastic in the Siege meta at the moment, but it isn't awful. I feel like I've seen really good Monty plays, and they're really annoying, and they are hard to stop, so I can't put him in D, I can't put him in B, so he belongs in C, and I'm rhyming accidentally again. Nock will go into D. She could go into C, however, I'm going to argue that she's going to go in D right now, but if that buff from Nock, like she doesn't get stunned by Elemines, fuse ability, cap cans, etc., she'll go from a D to a B. So she could go in C right now, but I think she has to go in D. She has got a cool gun with a 1.5 and go ninja mode and has nades. However, her ability, in my opinion, is almost absolutely useless. So it's kind of what I'm doing with D/E characters. A bit like Gridlock. Gridlock could probably now, on hindsight, probably go into D now. I'll think about it, but you know what I mean? Her ability is basically useless. If you got buffed, she'll skyrocket up the ranks. So I'm going to have to stick her in D. Nomad goes straight into A for me. There is no order anymore on this A list. It's just kind of all over the place now. Nomad's A because she's got that air jabs, 3 of them. That's really useful. A fantastic gun, ARX, one of my favorites. So she has this ability not only to kill the defenders if they walk through it, but also to stop roamers. So once you've cut off an area, you can kind of air jab it. However, there is a counter to the air jab, which obviously is shooting it from a certain angle, but if you can get an impact to destroy it and then none of the attackers are near it, they might not know it's gone. I think a massive buff for Nomad would be a little counter of how many air jabs are left on the map and have been destroyed, so you know there's one gone. It doesn't tell you which one, but tells you which one's gone. Let me know what you think about that. So she belongs in A for me. She can't go in S just because of that reason. Her air jab's incredibly strong, but they aren't broken. They're just perfectly balanced. She's just a perfectly balanced operator, so she deserves to go in A. I did a tier list a while back and I put Osa. I think I put Osa in S tier at the time because I felt like she was going to be so meta changing that she would be an S, because I felt like she would be a Monty on crack. She still is a better Monty, but she's not a Monty on crack. I'm going to put Osa into A. I would love for you guys to tell me what you think about this. Honestly, I could see why people would say S, but I could see why people put C. She's one of those characters that if you got a really good Osa player, you will be so annoyed by them and they'll win you rounds because of that glass. However, there are counters to it, like an impact, C4s, any explosives. Obviously, lesions are really annoying to her. And obviously, they made her very balanced by how small she is behind the shield. If she was a bit like a Monty in terms of width with the shield, she would be a lot more annoying. So I'm going to have to put her in A. I could see why she can be. She's got a good gun though. I really like the PDW on her. So yeah, I think you guys will agree with me that A is probably quite fair. I was kind of worried when I made the last tier list that she might sneak into S or be a permanent S, but that's not been the case for me personally. We've got our boy Thatcher. In my opinion, Thatcher is obviously S. I feel like if you don't put Thatcher in S, I think you're a bit lost because there is no Thatcher counter. That's why he gets banned all the time. I don't know why Thatcher gets banned all the time, because he's not like this all-forsaken character that has to be banned, but I understand why he gets banned. I feel like Twitch and Cali don't bring enough of a presence. Thatcher has 3 EMPs, a very good gun. Yeah, I guess we all know he's an S, to be honest. I don't see why you put him on an A. He just doesn't get played that often, and we don't get to play him, so he's going to have to be an S for me. I hope he gets nerfed soon. Just a slight nerf, not a big nerf. I want him to be an A operator, a bit like hibana, has counters and has use. Because I'm a bit sick of all this, like, Kaids, and you see what I mean? Like, so many walls being electrified because there is no way to get in, because if you use a Twitch, there's a Mozzie drone, etc, etc. I think every hard breach is in a fantastic place, and I think I've put all of them in A. I think I have, apart from Maverick, because I feel like they all are fantastic and they all have their own purpose and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. Termite has a good gun. I don't like it personally, but he has a good gun. He can destroy 2 walls with one thing. Obviously, he's got counters as well. So I don't know. He just is an A. He's my least favorite out of the lot, but a lot of people love Termite. He's a very easy in quotation marks character. So yeah, he's got to go in A for me. Move over to Twitch. I would want to put Twitch in S because I'm a Twitch main, but I'm actually going to put Twitch in A right now. The A tier is looking very packed right now, but that's because there's a lot of operators that are in a very good place right now. I think Twitch would be at the top of the A tier because that buff with her drone where she's got a limited range. The gun is insane. The F2 is probably I would argue, the best gun in the game right now. The drones aren't overpowered, they aren't broken in my opinion. Is a character enough to be that overpowered just from gun? I'd say almost, but I wouldn't say she's the level of Finker, Maverick in her own unique overpoweredness. I'd say the gun maybe could do with tweaking, but if the gun literally just gets nerfed, she goes back down the pecking order real quick. So I think A is a fair position for her. Let me know if there's any Twitch mains down below. And now we're on to the last 3. Ying, again, I'm going to put her in D. She's situational. She has times where her Candals can be very useful. Otherwise, I don't think in the current meta of Siege, she brings much use. She obviously has a gun with a lot of bullets as well, which is very nice. Has smokes as well, which you can use the smoke and Ying combo. But I just can't argue for higher than D. Here's my little wild card for you guys. I'm going to put Zero straight into A. At the bottom of A, next to Capital. Zero has a fantastic gun and a fantastic skill set. Just doesn't get used enough. He has his cameras which he can place in areas that are very, very annoying, can give free information. He basically has an extra, I think it's 3 or 4 drones in his pocket, which obviously give noise away and give positions away, but they can be shot through up and down walls, so you can do creative stuff with them. They have one zap, they can destroy a lot of things. I genuinely think him and Capital are the most underrated attackers of this season and don't get used enough, and I recommend you guys trying them out and let me know if you think I've overestimated them or if I've perfectly hit them on the head. Back-to-back curveballs from your boy Rasco. I'm going to do it, boys. I'm going to do it. Sophia is an ST operator for me right now. You know, I was saying, what are you doing? It's the LMG, boys. I'm sorry. It's so strong. Sophia's gadget hasn't changed. when her main gun, the M762, I think that's what it's called, was good. The LMG is even better. I've been saying this for times with like Ella's shotgun before. Ella's shotgun got nerfed. LMG is busted. All LMGs are way too strong. They don't have enough recoil for what they do. You can basically keep firing another 100 bullets in a pre-fire. She still has 2 pew-pews, I forgot what they're called, like Ash, that destroys something, and she has 2 concussions, which I don't think many characters have that even range of utility just alone, so that's fantastic. And she has an insane gun. I'm sorry, she's got a BS for her right now. If the LMGs get nerfed, she'll skyrocket back down. She'll go back with Ash, but I've got to put her in S because I feel like Sophia LMG is so busted. There you go, guys. That's a wrap for the video. Let me know what you think of the attacker tier list. Be honest. Leave down in the comments what you thought was the worst pick and the best pick. And also let me know down below what characters you think will get a buff and a nerf in the upcoming months. Thank you again for all the support. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do a defender tier list and see my opinions on operators. And thank you so much for watching. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Remember, there are timestamps on screen right now. Click on those if you want to see another video. Much love, guys, and have a great evening.